Hi guys, John with you, and it's time now to get started. Yep, on the Leopard. I forgot what it was there for a second. On the Leopard 1A4. Lovely little kit. It's from TAMIYA. It's an old kit from 1979. One of the good old ones from TAMIYA. Some people straight away see, oh, it's an old 70s kit. It's going to be a load of shit. No, they're not. I find them actually brilliant. I love the old kits. A couple of reasons. One, you pick them up cheap. Two, especially being a TAMIYA kit, the fit is perfect. Brilliant fit. Really is a good fit. Yeah, there's a couple of discrepancies with how accurate they are, things like that. A lot of the stuff is sort of pre-molded on, so you don't have to go fitting little things, which can be a plus. But then again, if you're into what you'd call a long build, an exciting long build where you love all the little fiddly little bits and pieces, then it's not the kit for you. But if you're in sort of getting back into the hobby, these old kits are fabulous, absolutely fabulous for that. This kit now was donated to the channel by Larry Brown. Thank you very much, Larry. I do appreciate it. I do appreciate all the little gifts and things that people sort of send into the channel. Helps keep the channel going, because do you know what I mean? To kind of keep turning out kits at the rate that I'm turning out, they have to come from somewhere. The kits, as you know yourself, they're not cheap. They are not cheap. So I do appreciate anybody that does send me a kit. I really appreciate it. Okay, I do have ads on my YouTube channel, and I get a few bob from YouTube. I kind of get paid every 3 months. I get about 70, 80 euro. And as you know yourself, 70 or 80 euro works out about 70 quid sterling. So you're not going to get very many kits for that, and that's over a 3-month period. So, but it helps. Every little bit helps, and it helps me sort of keep the channel going. And keep producing videos for you if you want them, obviously. Do you mean it's up to you whether you want to watch them or not? But I do appreciate it. Thank you very much. Now let's get back to this kit. We're going to get started on it. It's like I said, it's one of the good old TAMIYA kits, and I'm going to get started on it. So let's get down to the bench. Let's get started and stop the waffle. Yeah, less waffle, more building. Okay, like I said, it's time to get started. So where do we start? First of all, we start like everything else. We start off with the instruction manual. Things you will need at this stage: you will need sprue cutters, wire snips, nail cutters, whatever you use, dead handy little item. Pick them up very cheap, either through a hobby store or where I buy them on eBay. Get them in China, I think you get a couple of quid. Okay, and a hobby knife. Okay, make sure you got a nice clean blade inside in it. So start off with the instructions. Being a tank, most tanks have plenty of road wheels, and that's where we start. We're starting with our road wheels. Okay, so we start off with these ones here. We've got to put an A1 to an A2, an A1 to A17s. Okay, these, I think there's 2 of these to be made, and we've got a stack of those to be made. So we've got our idlers, our road wheels, and our drive sprockets. Okay, so there we go. There's our yoke bobs. So our idler wheels, we have to make 2 of them. Road wheels, 14 of them, and our drive sprockets, 2 of them. Okay, so they're all on sprue A, right? So what we do is we start cutting them off. Okay, so we need A1s, we need 2 A1s. And we need those A17 pieces, which are those 2 down here. We'll start off with, we'll just do the idlers, and then we'll carry on then with the rest of them. You also need some of these looks here, polycaps. Alright. Now you could start cleaning them off straight away, but I don't. I find it's much easier. Okay. Now remember, everyone's way of doing these things is different, right? But I do find that if you, we'll do one of them. We'll pop in our little polycap. Don't glue it into place. Okay. Dry fit. Make sure everything. Yep, they're lovely. Our TAMIYA extra thin glue. I usually give them a little wiggle until they find their own. There we go, so they don't wiggle anymore. Okay, obviously if I forced it they'd wiggle. Now, if you look here, we've got our parts where they join the sprue. Just remove them. You could remove them in the next stage, but I prefer to remove them now. It just the next stage, believe it or not, is sanding them. Now I usually wait much longer now before I do this. I usually wait until they're totally dry and set. Okay, but I use these as sanding sticks, right? Well, they are sanding sticks. It's not that I pretend that they're sanding sticks, but I use them as modelling sanding sticks. Buy these in pound shops, okay, or in your local pharmacy, chemist, whichever way you want to call it, or drugstore, if you're in the US of the A. You can get specific modelling ones. They're a little bit more expensive. I don't, because they're a little bit more expensive. I don't see the point in spending, because these ones, you pick them up. What? To me, I get 2 of them for €1. Brilliant. Absolutely fabulous, and I pick them up every now and then in town, rather than spending out 7 or 8 quid and waiting for them to come by post for a modelling one. Okay, so by having the 2 together, you're making sure that you don't have any, that your wheels match up. It's much easier to do them. Plus, you're saving time because you're doing two for one. Okay. Now, by giving these a sand, you're doing 2 things, right? Now, luckily enough with these ones, we don't have a seam line running down the centre. But if they did have a seam line, this gets rid of the seam lines down the centre of them, right? But it also kind of roughens them up a bit. It makes them look, natural. Okay. Quick blow off. Wipe over. There we go. There's our wheels. Right. Just have to repeat that another once for the idlers, and then 14 more times then for the road wheels. So I'll go off and get them done. There's one. Next time you see them, I'll have them all done. Okay. So I'll get them done. We come back then. We'll have a look at those. Okay, so there we have our wheels done. Okay, all nicely sanded and everything. Okay, so we can get a nice little close up of them. You can see that they are very, very nicely moulded. Okay, very nice indeed. So there's the road wheels, idlers, and the drive sprockets. Come on. There we go. Okay, so there's our wheels done. So that's the first section. So now we can get our wheels and we can put them to the side. Handy little containers, these. Okay. Put all our wheels into that. Won't get lost. put them aside, onto the next section. Okay, so let's mark off that we've these done. And section 1 done. Right, so now we're on to the rear panel. Okay, onto the rear panel there. Right, we've got lights to go on there, we've got the travel lock has to go on. Right, it says here do not cement that in, so you can flip it up and down. We've also got some lifting hooks or eyes, and we've got that identification type thing panel to go on the back there. Right. Then we've got a box. This e-box. We've got some little holdery things around the yoke. See? Technical to the last. I'll give you all the technical explanations. Fiddly things and jointy bits. Okay. So I'll get them done. Come back then. As usual, we'll have a look at that and see if there's any problems or anything else. When it came to the wheels, there was no problems. They just went together easy enough, as we saw. Right, so I'm going to get step 2 done and come back. We'll have a look at it. Let you know how all that went. Okay, now that's step 2 done. Right, step 2, we have to get in the rear panel on. A couple of little bits and pieces that went onto it. We've got the travel lock for the barrel, that follow me identification plate, the rear lights, lifting hooks, a bit of spare track. We've got a box of some kind. We've got a round box of some kind, and 2 little thingamajiggies. Like I said, you know what I mean, watch this channel for technical information. You won't find a better one for technical information. And there we go. There's that piece all nicely made up now. And that piece is movable. Okay, that can pop up and down. Not that the thing is you can't open it, but you can move it up and down. Don't see the point. You know what I mean? To be honest with you, but it works anyway. Lovely fitting of that piece. Okay, goes on the back there, and it is very strong. You know, usually a lot of these little fiddly things you're putting on little hooks and you're trying to get them in there, very, very fiddly. And that's with modern kits. This is an old 1979 kit, like I said, in the when we started off building this. Excuse me. And beautiful little fitting there on that. Anything else I can really say about that? No, nothing much. Just everything fitted on perfectly. Locator holes at the back. Usually when I fit something from the front end for the back, I do put a little bit of glue on the surfaces inside in them, but I also put a little bit of glue at the back as well to help soak through. Okay, so you can see there little bits of glue in the back there, and that makes everything nice and secure. So there's the rear panel. Next, right, step 3. We're fixing the wheels, and we are attaching the rear panel. Now the great thing about the wheels is the fact that we can take them on and off because of the poly caps. So I will fit them now, and I mean we can build it up as we go along. That's the road wheels, that is, the idler and the drive sprocket. They can all be fitted now, because when it comes to painting I can pop them all off again. The little return rollers along the top, however, they have to go in now. They can't be readjusted, shall we say, as in I can't be taking them on and off. So once they're in, they're in. We've got to fit in 2 little blocking panels for inside underneath where the switches would have been. Right, so we got to put them in. we've put in the axles, we'll call them the axles. The axles there for the idler wheels and for the drive sprocket. Fitting on the rear panel, we've got some towing hooks at the back there. We've also got 2 mud flaps. So that's what we're doing in step 3. We've also got a polycap here as well, the long polycap. That's for fitting the top on and taking it off again, which is handy, I suppose, you know, handy for the painting. All good, all good. So I get them done, come back then, and as usual, we'll have a quick look at it and discuss any problems or the fit itself, how good it was or how bad it was. Okay, we get that done, we'll come back to you in 2 shakes of a ram's tail, says you. And okay, here we are down with the instructions again, and as you can see from all the little green marks, that have that stage completed. Now I must say that everything fitted together beautifully, it really, really did. No problems with fit whatsoever. No flash or anything to be removed, so everything went together perfectly. Now one of the things that I'm after going through the instructions, not that there's very many of them anyway, but at no place in the instructions does it tell you about fitting the tracks and when to fit the tracks or anything like that. So I presume it's at this stage because as you read through the instructions, the next step now is to go on to the upper hull. Then you go onto the turret, and then basically you're putting everything together, and it shows that the tracks are already on this section here. Now, after going through a couple of videos of different people that have done this kit, and 1 or 2 of them have come up and said that the rubber tracks that came with the kit were extremely tight. Yes, extremely tight, and one person even said that they broke the idler wheel mounting, which is probably more than likely this little piece here, when they were fitting the tracks, because they were so tight that it just sort of snapped them in. Now he ended up having to get separate Meng tracks for it. Okay, I'm after dry fitting the tracks, as in popping them in without actually you know, heating them or gluing them or anything like that. As you can see there, they're not sealed off yet, but they fitted perfectly. They work. Okay, I had no problems with them whatsoever. So whether they've there was a problem that they noticed with the earlier kits and changed the tracks or not, I do not know. But these tracks, so far anyway, this one, I haven't put the other one on yet, but I just did the one, and it's perfect. There's no problems with that. So you know, it's grinding, as you can see. They're grinding tracks. Okay, they're going to do the job. Now, that's the tracks thing out of the way, and we'll move on with the instructions and what we're on to next. Okay, I'll do the other track, and I'll do the sealing of the tracks as well. It's where you sort of basically heat a screwdriver, pop them through like that, and then just seal them down, you know, flatten it down a bit. Little hint with that is don't heat your screwdriver too much. Okay, under a naked flame, of course, but don't heat them too much, and then sort of slowly kind of just mushroom the top of it so it seals it off. As I said, I don't have a problem with those rubber tracks. Never really had a problem with any rubber tracks, but what the hey. Anyway, right, we're on now to the upper hull, and in step 4 we're fitting on side skirts, some tools, and the big air vent there at the back. Alright, and step 5 is basically the same on the other side, as well as fitting this little piece here underneath, which is the little clip. Fits in under here, and it's the clip then that keeps the top, joins the top and the bottom, keeps in under this section here, under that yoke there. so you can sort of take your model apart and things like that. It's really for getting at the motor and changing the batteries out. I normally don't bother with that. I normally glue the two sides together, but as I said, I haven't decided to go down that line yet. We'll see what the fit is like in the pushing together side of it, and how much of the the clear sponson that you can sort of see in under it. But I don't think you will, because of the side skirts will come down over the side of that, so mightn't have to bother with the gluing them together at all. We'll see how things go. Okay, so and finally then in step 6 here, we're putting on a few other little bits and pieces: the driver's hatch, wing mirrors, our lights, and the towing hooks. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to get these 3 steps done, right, and then we'll have a look at that then when all that's done, and we'll see what it looks like. And again, mention any pitfalls we might have found, anything going wrong with the kit or anything wrong with any parts. Can't see any problems with it. I mean, if it's not warped or anything, it should fit together quite easily. So we'll get that done, we'll come back and we'll have a look at it. And here we are back to the instructions again. Now I'm after doing step 4, step 5 and step 6. Okay, so what I'm after doing is I'm after fitting on the side skirts, the tools box, the vent there at the back, same then on this side. Okay, so we got the Pioneer tools, we've got the vent, the side skirts. On the front now we've got 2 of the toe shackly thingy-majiggy bobs. We've got lights, commander's hatch, or the driver's hatch cover, and the wing mirrors. So we'll have a quick look at them. And again, no problems whatsoever, right? None whatsoever with those. Everything fitted in absolutely beautifully. Okay. I mean, this kit is literally falling together. That whole sort of shake and bake thing, it definitely applies to this kit. Like, I can't fault it in any way. All these pieces, nice locators, they went in easy, no problems. Even the side skirts, and they're on and they're quite solid. Good guides, good sort of little tracks for them to slot into and everything else, and they just glue up absolutely perfect. So everything is going swimmingly. So let's carry on now with our instructions. And now we're onto the turret. Okay, first of all we got to build up a couple of little sub-assemblies to get ready for the turret itself. We've got the smoke dischargers, okay, left and right. We've got that main searchlight at the top. Okay, that's they're a dual searchlight. I was looking up on that. It's both infrared and white light, so very nice. We've got the machine gun, okay, which is I can't remember the actual name of this one, but it's the updated version of the MG42, and it basically runs on the same concept as that, and there's still quite a formidable weapon still used today. We've also got our gun. It's a 2-piece barrel, well, a 3-piece barrel when you consider we've got the little top as well for it. Okay, then we're fitting the light onto the gun mantlet and fitting in our gun itself. Then we're on to putting the turret sort of sides and back and all that together. So I'm going to get those 3 steps done, 2 steps should I say, 7 and 8. 7 being a pile of little steps, getting all the little sub-assemblies done. Okay, smoke launchers, light, machine gun, main gun, and fitting all those little pieces onto the mantlet, and then putting our turret box, building that up. So I'm going to get them done. We'll come back then as usual and have a look at that. Right, now, so here we go. All those little bits and pieces are done. The smoke discharges are done. The searchlight, machine gun. I've attached the searchlight to the front mantlet there. The gun is in place, and the turret is all built up in a box, as you can see. You can see it here beside me. I've also gone on ahead and sort of skipped a couple of little steps. I've put on the back plate there to fill in the back, and I've also fitted the front, the gun onto it there. Now, before I move on, because this is basically the last step, all these little fiddly bits that go onto it, before they all go on, I just want to go back over the kit, because there's lots of little places here, like, you know, there's a line, the deep kind of groove along there. There's a little bit there, and they kind of, oops, it went in okay there, so I just, a couple of areas need a bit of filling to go over. I mean, I'm after getting that line there now okay. The only thing about it is, once you start sanding, you can see where all the sanded plastic sort of sits into all the grooves. So all you do there is just, as simple as that, is wet your finger and go over it. That'll remove all the excess bits of sanded plastic, and you can see the little grooves there. I just want to use a tiny little bit of sprue glue filler, just to go along these little gaps here. Because with all the little bits and pieces on it, the handles and things like that, you won't be able to go back in after that and do this. Stop. Stay in. If I can focus. You won't be able to do all that little bits of sanding and cleaning up once all the little things are on, because you're going to end up breaking them off. There's also one or two spots here on the main body of the tank, where the vents, the engine vents, go on there. I want to kind of clean up that line there. Same here at this side. It's not as bad on that side, but you can still see it there. See, I want to get rid of that. That's about it for the main body of the tank, but there's a couple of little spots here in this. I want to clean up some of the joins and things, just for my own benefit really, more than anything else, just to make it look a little bit neater. Because if you don't, it will the paint will sort of sit into there, and you will notice it straight away. So I'm going to go on ahead and I'm going to get those done. Then I'm going to continue on then with the last few little bits and pieces to go on. We've got some hatches and hatch covers to go on. We've got a lot of handles to go on. We've the commander's sort of cupola ring there to go on. A couple of other little fiddly bits, more handles. And the last page then, we just have to make up that conning tower. Whether, like I said, whether I'm going to use it or not, I do not know, not yet anyway, but we'll see. We'll make it up anyway and we'll see what it looks like on it. If I don't like the look of it, I won't use it, simple as that. So I'm going to go on, get them done, we'll come back then, we'll have a look at the finished article, as in the build part of it. What's left then will be the next video, and that will be the painting and weathering. So next time you see this now, it should be all constructed, and we can verbally take it apart, if you know what I mean. Go down through the build, whether it was good, bad or indifferent. Okay. Okay, so there she is, construction's finished anyway. Okay, I've done the figure and I've done that conning tower thing. Okay, well, just bring the camera up a little bit there, you can see the conning tower and the figure as well. I'll bring it back down to there again. Now, there's that figure. It's it's one of the typical old TAMIYA figures. The thing about them, when they're this colour, you can't really tell what they look like, because the colour, they're so dark. It's very, very hard to make out the detail in them, but once they're painted, I'd say they might be okay. I don't know. I built him anyway, even though I'm not going to use him, because I'm not going to make a diorama for him. He doesn't fit in the conning tower or the turret, but I just made him anyway, just in case you want to get the kit yourself and just want to have a look at what the figure is like when he's made. Right, there you go. Like I said, they're the old TAMIYA figures. Not the best, but you know, you can make a nice job of them if you paint them up well. The conning tower, I'm not going to use that either, although it looks okay from that angle. You know, when you look at it straight on, the joins were pretty hard to clean, and even at that I didn't really get them properly cleaned, but I decided not to use them anyway before I even started cleaning them because of that there. Okay, just the inside of them, they look just cheap and nasty. They really do. No thought went into them at all. If they were sort of like that on the inside the whole way around, it wouldn't be too bad. But you got that joining sort of segment there, you know, where you got the pin in the hole type thing. No, it's not very nice. Looks ridiculous anyway on it. But let's get on to the vehicle itself, right? And the hatch closes. Okay, so we'll just close the hatch because it's going to remain closed because there's no interior. You're not going to have the hatch open. I got the sanding done on those there, and on the turret here, up there. So I got those joins all nicely closed up and everything else. Bit of filler, bit of sanding, did the job. Construction wise, it's an all TAMIYA kit. What you expect, it falls together. It really does. Beautiful fit, no problems with it whatsoever. The detail itself is quite nice. You know, you got nice deep panel lines and things. You got anything that sticks out well. It's got nice detail on it. I suppose, you know, I mean, a more modern kit, the Meng version of this probably has all these things to be putting them on separately and things like that. But they're already molded on, so when you think of it, it is quite a quick build. Detail on the machine gun there, not bad either. Okay, a couple of seam lines to clean up and things like that on smaller parts. But overall, a very, very enjoyable build. Thank you very much to Larry for this. Hope I do it justice in the painting, because we got nice lots of tools and things there on the side, so we're going to have lots of wood and stuff on it. I've decided to go for the single colour, just the green, so I'm going to do a bit of pre-shading and all that in it, so it should end up nice. Overall impression of the build of the kit, it's a nice kit. It really, really is. I'd say it would stack up there with some of the best of them. You know, even for say late 1970s mould, they knew what they were doing back then. It hasn't really changed much since then, when you think of it. You know, really what they've done is they've kind of made a lot of these little parts that are pre-molded on. You know, they made them so you actually put them on yourself. We'll see how it paints up. We'll see what it looks like then. Alright, so that's it for this video. The build is done. Next step, like I said, is the painting and the weathering and all that kind of thing to make it look real. Get that realistic look around it, about it, making it look like instead of looking plastic, getting it to look like metal. That's the whole trick with the painting. Once you get that, then, you know, excuse me, I mean, once you've achieved that, you've achieved a lot. So, like I said, I'm going to leave it at that. Don't forget to join me for the rest of the build series, where I get it painted and stuff. Hope you liked it so far. Any comments, you can stick them in the comments box below. Let me know what you think yourselves, and any questions you want to ask me, feel free to ask any questions. And again, finally, another thank you to Larry Brown for sending me on this kit. Really do appreciate it. Okay, so I'm going to leave it at that, lads. Don't forget to join me on the next one. Be nice to one another, enjoy your modelling, and go out and buy yourself a kit. Build it and enjoy it. It's John signing off. I'll catch you on the next one, lads. Stay safe.